Hi everyone, we've got a quick video for you today on how to solve a certain type of verbal reasoning question which involves codes. These questions are notoriously difficult, so we thought we'd put together a step-by-step guide for some of our pupils who are currently trying to answer them. Okay, so we're jumping in straight into an example of this type of verbal reasoning question, and we have AB is to CD as PQ is to what? And the first thing to note is that we're looking for a two-letter answer. Now what we're going to do is isolate this part of the question, and this is where we're going to find our clues. Now it's a common misconception to think that we need to find a relationship between A and B. That's not the case. AB has changed into CD. So the first thing I want to do is to isolate again the first letter of each code. A is to C. Well, what's happened to A that we have ended up at C? And it's a simple case of counting the jumps. We start at A, 1 forward, 2 forward. And I'm going to denote 2 jumps forward as +2. So the first part of the code is +2. Then once we've got our code for the first letter, we're going to go to the second letter, and we have travelled from B to D. I'm going to use my alphabet at the top, start at B, and this time I go underneath just to make sure that it's really clear I've separated out the 2 jumps. How do I get from B to D? I do 1 jump, 2 jumps forward. I'm going to denote this as +2. Now that is the hardest part of this question. So now we've got this far in our question, what we can do is apply the rule that we found on this half to this half, and we can start with PQ, looking at the first letter P. What did we do to the first letter here? We added 2, find P, add 2, and we end up with R. Then we go to Q, our second letter. We look at the second letter clue, which happens to be the same here. We find Q, and we jump forward 2 spaces. We end up with S. And our answer is RS. Now, those of you who are eagle-eyed may have found that this is here. Our answer is D. So on to question 1 for the homework. Now let's see how we can solve this one. Same process as earlier. HI is to KL as NO is to what? We're looking for 2 letters, and we're going to just find our clue in this half of the question. H is to K. Let's isolate those first letters. How do we move from H to K? Let's use our alphabet above. H to K. Let's count the jumps. 1, 2, 3 jumps forward. We can denote that as +3. Now moving on to the second letter, I'm going to do my arrow underneath to make sure it's really clear that this is a separate move in my solve. I need to move from I to L. I is here. 1, 2, 3 jumps to L, and I can denote that as +3. Once more, it happens to be that both of our jumps are the same. This isn't always the case, so it's really important to check both. But let's solve and get our answer then. N +3 is going to move 1, 2, 3 to Q as our first letter, and O is going to move +3. O, 1, 2, 3 to R. QR, and at this point we're hoping that that's somewhere in the options below, and lo and behold, the answer is E. Right, so hopefully we're experts by now, and I'm going to start off this question and you're going to finish it for me. So ZY is to XW as VU is to what? Again, 2 letters we're looking for. Let's isolate the first letters, Z to X. How do I move from Z to X? Find Z, and I'm going to go backwards this time, 2 jumps. I'm going to denote backwards as -2. Here's my arrow, -2. My second letter I'm going to isolate. Y is to W. Let's find Y in my alphabet. It's here. I'm going to go to W, which is here. 1, 2 backwards again. And we can see that actually once more we have the same number and direction of jumps. Please do be warned, this will not always be the case. Now we know the code and how to move from ZY to XW, we simply have to apply this to VU. Can you have a go at home yourself? I'm not going to do it for you this time. I want you to write down what you think the answer is out of these 5 options in the comments below, and we'll get back to you to see if you got the answer right. We hope you found that useful and that you're now ready to have a go at these types of questions yourself. If you're one of our pupils and you're still struggling, make sure you get your parents to contact us in our WhatsApp group or leave a comment down below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.